Okay, everybody, we are going to now head over to. Excuse me. We're going to now head over to mrchris38 for Mega Man 4 any percent. We are starting just a little bit earlier, but we are now running quite a bit ahead of schedule, but that's completely fine, I think. I don't think it's too big of an issue, especially given the fact that we do have a break anyway after this one, so it's not a huge deal about that. So we're going to go over now to Mr. Chris for Mega Man 4 any percent. So yeah, hopefully everyone is excited. Hopefully everyone's getting ready. Hope everyone's pumped up and hyped, ready for this run. As we're going to go over to it now. Hold on for just a moment before you start, because the Twitch capture been twitchy again. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Oh wait, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's what. Can you? Are you guys talking, or am I?
Yeah, I mean we can. Yeah, I mean we're.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you are live now. Let me just.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you're cutting over us to go live or.
There you go. Cool. Okay, we're on.
All right, perfect.
So, whenever you're ready, feel free to introduce yourselves, and we'll get started.
All right, perfect. Hey everybody, I am Mr. Chris38. Welcome. I'm very excited to be here for this event, InstaSpeedathon, and to support EveryoneCan UK. Today we have Mega Man 4. This is a game that I've been speedrunning for not quite a year, but of the classic series, it's got to be one of my absolute favorites to run. I got into it. I got into the game last year after the famous Cossack Cup tournament, and it was one of those games like, man, I really want to pick this up. And once I picked it up, I was never able to put it back down. And so what we have today is we are running the Rockman 4 version, the Japanese version of the game. The text loads faster. That's really the main difference, is that if there's any text on the screen, it will just load faster. And today for you, I have a very special commentator with me, another Mega Man 4 runner, and we were both around the same times in Mega Man 4. So I want to introduce my friend, my brother, fellow Mega Man 4 runner, IRACVet0304. Vet, how you doing, man?
Hey, pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for doing commentary for this.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, it's funny because Vet and I kind of have been going back and forth on the leaderboards.
Yeah, we're Mega Man 4 rivals.
Yeah, we are. We try to one I can do it, you can do it better, and then he does it better, and I do it better. It's kind of back and forth on the leaderboards. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I am at so we're in that 39 category right now, and so if we're ready to go, I can go ahead and get started. So yeah,
whenever you're ready, count down 3, 2, 1, and let me know when to start the timer, and we'll start.
All right, so yeah, I'll let you know when to start the timer, and then the end of the timer will be the final hit on final boss. So once that's done, I'll say time, and then we'll end it. So I'm just gonna do one reset here, and then I will do the countdown.
Let's do this.
All right. Hope you guys enjoy this one, because this is a blast. This game is just so much fun. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck, Mr. Chris. Here we go, everybody. There's 2 major routes starting out in Mega Man 4. You can go Bright first or Pharaoh first. You really want to try to go Bright first because that weapon, that flash weapon you get, really saves a lot of time. You're going to see later on in the run. But people usually do Pharaoh first, mainly because it saves a little bit of RNG and a little bit of lag. So overall, about 6 seconds difference, but not too much. Brightman's usually the more consistent, more safe route. You are going to see the first instance of RNG in this game with those grasshoppers there. They can either jump big or jump small. It's really up to them. There's not much you can do about it. We like to call him Clyde because he's mean sometimes, and sometimes he can be nice. But you're also going to see a lot of sliding in this game. Mega Man 3 was the first to introduce the sliding mechanic, but Mega Man 4, I feel, kind of perfected it. So you can jump out of your slides. There's like I think a full, what they call raid-in slide is about six frames long. And you can usually jump out as soon as you hit the slide. So you're going to see that a lot in this run, where you're doing what they call slide cancels. And jump out of your slides to kind of do like what they call micro slides on the edges. And you're also going to see Mega Man jump off the top of ladders, the true enemy in Mega Man, ladders, because when you get to the top of the ladder, Mega Man will kind of freeze in place for about a frame. So doing that little hop off the top of ladders actually saves you some time there. Mr. Chris making his way through Brightman very nicely here. It's on a really good pace so far. Brightman's fight is unique in such a way that his life values at 16, 8, and 4 health values, he will freeze the screen. You don't want him to do that because that wastes a lot of time. So what we want to do is we want to offset those health values. Because the full charge shot does 3 and the lemon shot does 1, you want to do 2 full charge shots, 1 lemon, and the rest charge shots. Now the first 3 charge shots can be anytime. That lemon can be shot anytime during the first 3. But not after, because then you'll just mess it up. But Mr. Chris does it nicely. No freezes. Gets through it just fine. Lines up the center pixel. That magic pixel is going to come in handy later on in this run too, where you can do like little skips to skip the weapon get animation. It saves a little bit of time. So moving on to Pharaoh Man here. You're going to see just why we like to get this this bright weapon right away, because it's super broken in this game. So the weapon itself acts on a global countdown of like 5 seconds, but when you're sliding, it will not count down. So you can essentially use one ammo usage of this flash for one entire screen. So you can just it saves so much time. You can just keep those enemies out of your way, slide right on through, and there you go, one usage. Look how much weapon ammo he has left over. It was amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and because the enemies in the sand there are these scorpions that you can only damage them when they're completely out of the sand.
Yeah. All right, we get that first item there, that balloon. We get the balloon. That's going to come in handy for our little vertical platforming we're going to be doing later on in the run. Now we're going to try to do some little lag reduction here, because in Mega Man 4, lag reduction strats are a thing, because the more things that are on the screen, the more lag you're going to introduce. So it's going to clog you up and make you go a little bit slower. So you kind of want to position yourself on those platforms where they can, depending on when you slide, they won't shoot those little bullets out the side of their ears, creating a little bit more lag. Not a big time save, but still a time save nonetheless. Making our way, those mummies take 6 shots, blast them down, get way through, and we're on to Pharaoh. Pharaoh could be a little ornery at times. He can jump around a lot, or he could just jump to your position, or he could just stand there and charge shot you to death. We kind of want him to be a Pharaoh bro and just stand there, but a lot of times he likes to be Jumpy McGee and jump all over the dang place. A couple jumps there, but you see how he's just jumping in Mega Man's location there. That's another thing that's not bad to do, but man, when he starts jumping, it could be a painful fight. Mr. Chris does it nicely. Tries to line up that center pixel just barely off,
barely missed
but not
it, yeah.
too bad. Just barely.
Yeah, it's very precise.
Yeah, moving on to Ringman stage here. This is a very tightly routed stage. You're gonna take a lot of damage boosting because there's like 4 mini bosses in this stage. We only really have to fight one of them, so we're gonna take a lot of deboosting is what we call it, just damage boost. Just slide right into some enemies and just slide right through them. So you're gonna end up at the boss with low health, low ammo. But here's where we see the balloon strats here. We're gonna make this climb a lot faster, a lot easier. That balloon jump you just seen in that wall, you can pop a balloon inside a wall and it will disappear, but there's still a few frames to where you can actually jump on the hitbox and jump up, saving a lot of lag and saving a lot of time there. So very nicely done. Beautiful vertical. Switching over to Pharaoh. And we're going to get through these hippos without too much hesitation. Here's another instance where the more things that are on the screen, the laggier it gets. You see how Mega Man kind of drags a little bit. There's little things on the screen just creating a bunch of lag. But there's not a lot you can do about it in some places. Other places you can kind of manage it. There's that one boss that we're going to fight right there. And goodbye. One charge shot takes him out, no problem. You just got to deal with timing on that little ring. So slide right through that second hippo, and we're on to the checkpoint screen. This screen's kind of treacherous. You can die really easily. But not too bad. Mr. Chris making it look easy. He's a seasoned professional. He knows what he's doing. He's got this. Mr. Consistent, as I always call him. Mr. Consistent. He's one of the best, most consistent players I've seen in this run. So, as you see there, he's a little bit lower on health than what you normally are. I mean, usually you're about pretty low, but two's really low, so he cannot take a hit. But luckily for us, Ringman has no RNG. He does the same thing over and over. So you just kind of want to take use of that charge shot being above your head. Get some double shots on Ringman. Down he goes. Quick kill strat. No big deal.
Yeah, very tightly. Yeah, that was very, very precise. There's no room for error.
Yeah,
on
no
that.
room for error.
Like Vet was saying, that's a tightly routed stage.
Very tightly.
Yeah.
And
very stressful, very high anxiety stage.
Yeah, for our runs, man, that's a make it or break it stage. Like that's really reset heavy right there. Is because one slip up and Ringman could just reach out and grab you and kill you. So moving on to Dustman. Dustman's lag city here. We're gonna really see the lag come and play in the lag room, which is the second screen here. So but we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna use some bright usage here also. Freezing those enemies in place, shooting them down. Usually, if you don't freeze them, those shield enemies are invulnerable in the front, weak in the back, but with Bright, we just knock them down out of our way, no problem. Here's the lag room. Oh, and he just misses that platform. Yeah. That's a very, very risky move right there. Very tight little jump. You got to get it pretty precisely, but that does happen. That happens quite a lot. So let's just shake it off, and it's not a too terrible of a time save. You're maybe looking at about 12 to 15 seconds time loss. Not a big deal. We could totally make that up in the rest of the run. Let's see if we can get it here this time. And there we go. We got it that time. Very, very, very tight jump. There we go. Very scary room, this room. Decided to take a little extra cautious there at the end, which is smart. Don't want to die again. See what Eddie gives us. And he gave us nothing because we just went right so fast, he went right through it. And we're coming up on another scary screen, this Crusher. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get fast Crushers.
No, we're not.
But there is a zip you can do.
No, Vet knows the
I
zip.
always like the zip, but Chris doesn't like doing a zip. I always like doing a zip. It's just for fun. It's just a fun little thing to show off. But those Crushers are super scary, especially if you try to go for those, strats, the fast Crusher strats, and you just barely miss your timing, and you could get crushed in a heartbeat. So smart of Mr. Chris to take it cautious there and safe. That's awesome. Big jump and squishy. Always love to see him jump big so you don't take extra damage, because we want to keep as much health as we can, because Dustman literally and figuratively sucks. So whenever he starts sucking, the only way he becomes invulnerable, but the only way to stop him and to make him vulnerable again is to slide into him and take body damage off him. But it does like a bunch of damage.
Oh yeah, so it's like a Mack
truck. You can only do it like 3 times before you're dead. So nice fight. Didn't do any sucks. That's perfect.
Yeah, the contact. You want to tell about the contact damage in this game?
Yeah. Oh, the contact damage is insane. The bosses do like what, 8 damage?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 8 damage, except for Pharaoh. Pharaoh does a little less, which I don't exactly know why he does less, but he does do
But
that.
yeah, like some of these other bosses, like Dustman especially, they hit like a Mack truck.
Oh, it hits like a Matrix. It's hard. Skullman is one of my favorite stages, if not the favorite stage. The only place you're going to see a little zip here right at the beginning using the balloons. And Mega Man 4, Capcom decided that the only way to zip is if you take damage and you have iframes. So you set that balloon up, you take damage off the spike enemy, and zip right through when you have iframes. The reason why is because they didn't want you to do all those zips like in Mega Man 2, you know what I'm saying? So they limited it down, so the only way you do zips is if you take damage, use your iframes, and zip through. If you run out of iframes while you're inside a wall, you die. So, there's that. Mr. Chris making his way through Skullman using these balloons, using balloons here for making up these ladders, popping them in the walls. So useful, saves a lot of time. Then we're going to switch over to Bright here, and we're going to use the Bright for the rest of the stage until we get to the boss fight, because it just makes going through this section here so much easier. And the next section is a nightmare. Anybody remembers the Skeleton Joes? When you normally shoot them, they just drop down and become invulnerable, but with Bright weapon, you could just shoot them 3 times and they're down because they're frozen in place. No big deal. Makes it right through, not a problem. Switch over to Dust. That's Skull's weakness, because bones dissolve into dust, I guess. I don't know. But Skull reacts to your movement. You know, if you run or jump forward, or, you know, he does a little bit of everything. The only thing that's RNG based for Skullman is his Skull Shield. He can give you quite a different series of patterns, but it was pretty nice to Mr. Chris. I'd say it was a good fight.
I had to adjust a little bit on the fly because of some of the jumps I missed time, but still good.
Hey, still
It's good. It's good.
You're not dead.
It's good. Yeah, right.
He's dead, you're not. Let's go.
Right, exactly. We're moving on.
Moving on. Moving on to Dive Man stage, aka Scuba Steve.
Yep.
The artist formerly known as Scuba Steve. Interesting thing to know about this stage is a lot of it's underwater, and you cannot jump out of your slides underwater. So you're going to see a little bit of slide canceling if Mr. Chris decides to do slide canceling. You don't have to do slide canceling, but it saves a little bit of time. Not much. But you're going to see all these Bright usage all the way through this stage, because once again, making this stage so much easier without all the enemies getting in your way. You just run right through them. Here we're going to come up to our first mini boss, the whale. We're going to freeze him in place and just mash the heck out of him and move on. Hopefully you want to see 1 to 2 jumps, sometimes 3 jumps to kill the whale. 3 jumps is pretty standard. You don't really want to do more than 3 jumps.
No.
You're just, you know, losing a lot of time, but about 3 jumps you could probably get him down. I think it's, what is it, 16 or 18 shots to kill the whale?
I think
I want to say it's 16.
I think it's 16.
I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But anyway, moving on again to our next whale mini boss. There's 2 of them. There's what you want to do here after you kill this one is you want to make sure that you don't slide too far, because this pit right there, that's where you get wire. And wire is the most completely useless weapon in the speedrun. You don't want to use it unless you're a crazy person like me and like to do swag stuff. Then you'll get it just for a little manipulation and cossack.
Yeah, that's why you only see like 80% in this game and not 100% for that reason.
For that reason, yeah. Wire's terrible. It wastes a lot of time. If you do fall down in that pit, it's like a minute time loss. So, moving on to Dive Man, using Skull Shield here, just takes him down in 7 shots, no big deal. Wants to line up that center pixel so we can get this fanfare skip. Let's see if we can get it. It just barely misses it. He got the pixel, but I think he jumped too soon.
I did.
So, moving on to Drill Man stage. Now, if you wanted to experience the full amount of RNG in this game, switch over to Drill Man stage and you will see exactly as much RNG as you can handle, because this guy is Mr. RNG. His stage is very treacherous because the checkpoint is very late in the stage. And if you die beforehand, it is a huge time loss because you got to go all the way back to the beginning. Very, very dangerous stage, but we're gonna use Bright's weapon all the way through it, so we can get down some of these enemies. Just keep on sliding all the way through. These bats like to be a little bit RNG. They can either stay closed like that, or they can pop open right away, and you can just slide right through them. They have stayed closed more times than I can count how many they've opened up for me. So get through this ladybug room, no problem. And this turret room is the most dangerous part about this. Those turrets are a pain, but Mr. Chris makes it look easy. Moving on. Now this is where our checkpoint is. Get rid of these roly-polies here. No problem. 3 shots each. And now this screen here, these falling rocks, we just use Bright again. If you're really fast, you can use one weapon usage and just take it all the way to the end. We might have to take a second one, which we have plenty of ammo to do, no problem. There it is, right there, the second one. Okay, so we're moving on to Drill Man stage. Now he will dive into the ground, or drill into the ground, I should say, completely at random. There are some theories that if you stand really close to him, you can kind of manipulate him not to jump in as much, but other than that, you just use dive shot, try to get him down before he dives like 60 times, because I've seen him dive 6 times in a row. Like, he'll just come right up out of the ground and go right back in. There's a lot of times where he'll just do it at 1 HP too, so you just gotta be... 2 dives, not bad. 2 dives, not bad. So that's good. It's good RNG. We can take a deep sigh of relief. We made it through RNG, man. GG's.
Yeah.
Now on to my man, Looking Toad's favorite stage, Toad Man.
Yeah, I've had runs completely die simply because of Dive Man's RNG.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
Especially in refights. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some times that you can have a good run and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope, nothing you can do.
And nothing you did wrong or anything like that. But yeah, no, move on.
Yeah. Another stage where we're going to see the use of Bright weapon here pretty much the entire way. The thing to note here is the stage is a lot more deceptively hard, because this rain will actually push you back. So you've got to push your slides out past your platforms just a little bit longer than what you normally would. And that will help you get through those jumps while the rain's pushing you back. Luckily, we only have to deal with it in one location. This screen here has those waterfalls. Once again, you can't jump out of your slides in certain places in this screen, so you've got to be careful where you slide at here. You don't want to slide and just fall straight into a pit. That's terrible. That's bad news bears. Mr. Chris makes it look easy. And going on to our first mini boss here, which is a snail. I swear it's a snail, but you'll never see him form, because as soon as we transition into that screen, we will use the flash stopper and just take a damage off his hitbox and slide right through. Last screen here with little fishies, Mario style. We're gonna just slide over the platforms and then making it look easy. Man, this guy is smooth. Look at that. Switching over to drill, because that's Toadman's weakness. And we're gonna drop in, shoot a little drill shot right here, just because we're hoping that it will like just instantly destroy him, but it doesn't. It's just for show. Thing to note about Drill Man's weapon is you can detonate the bombs early, which is going to come in handy for the Wily Machine fight later on in this run. But for Toadman, you just shove the drill down his throat, call it a day, move on to the Cossack.
Yeah, that initial shot that I fire once that's more for our amusement.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just for us laughs. All right, moving on. Cossack stages. Cossack stages can be rough, especially Cossack 2, but Cossack 1, you're going to see a lot of ice physics. There is a thing to note here. As soon as you drop in, if you slide all the way to the left, you'll get a free E-tank. It's hidden behind the snow, but it's there, I promise.
Yep, it's there if you need it.
A lot of people like to get it for safety. Call them juice boxes. That one is a frozen juice box. You gotta have them cold, you know. Once, pretty much from here on out, you're probably never going to see Brightman's weapon again. The flash stopper's pretty much non-existent anymore. It's because we don't need it anymore. We're just that good, right?
Right.
So we got to
Well,
be careful here with these.
there is a spot coming up where the safe strat is bright.
Yeah, you could use a bright weapon here in Skull Alley. A lot of people don't because it's faster just to buster through it, but you can. It's an option. You can also use Jet here too if you want. I did that whenever I first started out. Just cheesed it the whole way. Mr. Chris just making it through. You got to be careful here on these platforms because where you slide out and when you jump, those things that come out of the pits can really ruin your day. Cost you a death if you're not careful. But Mr. Chris makes it look easy. Once again, using balloons to platform these verticals. Here we're gonna see all these balloons. This creates a little bit of lag, but it saves a lot of time from calling down the jet, switching menus and all that. So you want to use that balloon to kind of get over across there, and no big deal. Switch over to ring for Moth Raya. Interesting thing here, Moth's hitbox is that blinking red circle, and it's about a pixel hitbox, and ring weapon is also a pixel hitbox. So matching those pixel on pixels is kind of tough, but once you get a good hang of the fight, it's good. You want to kill him before he drills a hole in the ground, which Mr. Chris did, so that's great. Moving on to the bane of my existence, Cossack 2.
Mine too.
If you've ever watched Sage Hero play this,
Oh my gosh.
his Cossack 2 is mind-blowing. I love watching Sage Hero do his Cossack 2. It just blows my mind. His balloon work in this stage is impressive. You want to do a little double balloon jump here. Mr. Chris just misses it. No big deal. It's a really tight trick to do. He's going to probably take this ammo here. Yep, okay. Now this part, the spikes, normally you would probably use Jet here, but we're going to take some damage boost, use balloons to kind of help out, get our way across these spikes, so we don't have to menu as much. Saves on a menu. Once again, Cossack 2 is a very tightly routed stage. You're going to take a little bit extra damage. Mr. Chris going for the safety strat, going up and around, which is very smart to do. Saving on his health, because you're going to need that health, especially with Square Machine. He can really ruin your day in an instant. So take a little free health right there to kind of safe it up a little bit. Mr. Chris moving on nicely through the stage. Right here, we're going to switch to Dust, because that's Square Machine's weapon. A lot of these castle stages, you're going to see the Dust and Ring used quite a lot, because that's one of the main weapons used. But you also want to be aware of weapon management, ammo usage, because after each stage, your ammo doesn't refill. So you have to go another 8 stages without your ammo being refilled. So you got to really pay attention to how much ammo you're using. Square Machine can give you 3 different patterns to 3-3, 2-2, whatever, a bunch of different patterns. But the common pattern is the 3-2. Looks like you got a 2 at first, and probably gonna get a 3 right here.
Yeah.
Yep, got a 3. That's the most common, 1-1's pretty rare, but when it happens, it gets every speedrunner excited. Looks like, oh yeah, he made it through just easy. You want to take those damages off certain places there, because it kind of gets you those shots in a little bit faster, and you can get 5 shots in one cycle, and then 2 shots in the next, and you're down. You're good. So 7 shots altogether. Should have enough dust now to finish out the rest of the game until you get to refights. You want to fill it up there. But here, now time for the auto scroller, everybody's favorite auto scroller, Cossack 3. There's pretty much not a lot about this stage other than just getting enemies down off the screen as fast as you can to reduce lag. That's really the only strat in this stage. You don't want those turns to stay on screen, because they could just create a bunch of lag. So you just mow them down as soon as they appear and just wait. Now, a lot of people will choose to take these ammos here just to stay safe with their ammo usage. I like to do ring fills here. which Mr. Chris is doing because Ringman's weapon, it gets used a lot. The ring boomerang is one of the main weapons in the castle stages, so having plenty of ammo for that for the rest of the game is essential. Takes out these saw enemies here. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that ring can take care of those saws there. And moving on to the checkpoint part. Now, key thing to know here, if you decide to die in this stage, it is a huge time loss. Because, I mean, look how slow this stage is. Every speedrunner's nightmare, an auto-scroller. Because there is nothing you can do but wait. And God forbid if you die. Oh my god. Run Killer City. You want to get these moving platforms off screen too, because they do create a little bit of lag on screen. So we want to get those Saturns down, get the platforms off screen as soon as we can. They'll take care of themselves. You just got to jump off of them and they'll get rid of themselves.
Since we're in an auto scroll, is it okay to do donation?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Donation advert, as it were. So yeah, we are less than £20 away from raising 600, which is absolutely incredible. Now, before the end of the marathon, I would like us to reach £600 donated to EveryoneCan if we could. So if someone, or if more than one person, of course, could get us across that £600 target, that would be absolutely fantastic. We are less than £20 away, and if we could get there, that would be really good. Everyone can really do a lot of work for a lot of people, and honestly, every little does help, especially in times like COVID, where funds are really tight. So if we could get over the £600 line today, before the end of the marathon, that would be absolutely incredible. I'll post the link in the chat, but I've been posting it periodically as well, but if we could get there, that would be great.
Yeah, definitely get those donations. And
absolutely.
Mr. Chris has to take a Pharaoh refill here because he was not able to get the optimal fight on twin cockroaches. He had to use a little bit of extra Pharaoh, so we're going to pick up that ammo right along the way, which is not a big deal, but it saves a little bit of time if you get that optimal fight. Cossack 4 here is, according to Kuma, it's not a stage. It's not a stage. It's not a real stage.
Not a stage.
But you just, get right through it. Drill will take out those walls, creating a shortcut. Usually there is a path to go up and around. The only time you'll see that path is in Buster only runs. Other than that, it's pretty short stage. That screen right there with the two shield enemies, that's where you would come out on the top route and meet up with the rest of the stage here. Pretty straightforward stage. Nothing really to talk about other than the boss fight itself.
Yeah, we're at the end of the game, right?
Right, yeah.
This is it.
The first Mega Man game where Wily is not the main antagonist. It's Dr. Cossack. And he's got his little crane catcher here where what we're going to do is we're going to charge our Buster Shot. And we're going to slide into the corner. And what that does is that kind of resets his position so he won't move left or right. When you start sliding in a corner, he'll just kind of stop and just reset. So we can kind of manipulate his position on screen a little bit according to that. Mr. Chris doing a nice job. And now what we want to do, last shot, we want to get all the way over to the left, shoot him, and then that saves a lot of time of walking to the corner, you know. What's this?
Swerve! Swerve!
It was Dr. Wily all along?
Blackmail!
Son of a biscuit eater.
Best eyebrows in the biz.
Yeah, shout outs to RSBJ. He always says, best eyebrows in video gaming right there, Dr. Wily. It was Dr. Wily all along. Apparently he forced Dr. Cossack to do his evil bidding for him. That evil son of a gun.
Yep. Kidnapped his daughter, Kalinka.
Up to his nefarious ways again. So now we're going to sneak into his castle via the bathroom in the sewers. And that's apparently... Mets like to hang out in the sewers of Dr. Cossack, or Dr. Wily's castle. Because this stage is entirely Mets. Small ones, big ones, dancing ones. There's only one enemy in here that's not a Met, and that's a little saw just put in there to troll you. but no big deal. We're just gonna slide right through them. The dancing ones take 3 shots, whereas the regular Mets only take 1. And usually you could get through with no big problem. This stage can be a nightmare because of the last enemy, the Met Daddy. The Met Daddy can ruin your run because he hits like a ton of bricks, and it's not cool. Not cool, because when you die, you don't start at the boss corridor. You have to start back at the last known checkpoint of the stage, which is right before this water section. So that is a huge time loss if you get hit by killed by this Met Daddy here. We're gonna use Jet here to get through these Yoku blocks because it's Mega Man, right? What's a Mega Man game without Yoku blocks? But who needs them? We just jet right through them. Thank God for that, because if I had to do Yoku blocks in this speedrun, I probably wouldn't speedrun it as much as I do. Here we on to Met Daddy. Now, we want to get him down in 3 cycles, so we're going to try to get like 5 to 6 shots per cycle, maybe 4. But it just depends on what he does. You know, he can jump short, he can jump big. He can open late, open soon, whatever he wants to do. He's kind of RNG heavy a little bit, but he could be a nightmare. But he's given Mr. Chris a pretty good, decent pattern.
That's pretty good.
Not too terrible. And he's down. 3 cycle, Met Daddy. Pretty easy. Making it look easy. Mr. Consistent himself. Look at that. And away we go to one of my other favorite stages.
Yeah.
Wily 2. I really love this stage. You're going to see Jet here pretty much called early and just kept out the entire run, or the entire stage. Because what that does is it saves a lot of menuing back and forth, because it's about 2 seconds per menu. Somewhere around there, 1 to 2 seconds per menu. So you kind of want to avoid as many menus as you can. Oh, just slid right into the spikes. That's unfortunate, but not too terrible of a death because you're right there at the beginning. Those spikes can reach out and grab you really quick. Now, I don't think those spikes are up to code. I think Dr. Wily put them there because he's just mean and likes to troll you there. He should have really made a Spike Man enemy, but I mean, that's just my opinion. But, or a non-opening Met, that would have been, but whatever. Here we're going to use Jet to get to this ladder here. You want to make sure you want to get onto that ladder before Jet hits that wall, because if Jet gets to that wall before you get to the ladder, he will disappear and you will fall in that hole and you'll have to start all over again. This right here is the checkpoint screen with the mummies in it. Once again, 6 shots. Now, the only way to use your buster with Jet is you actually have to call Jet down before you can fire. So timing those shots is essential. We want to call Jet down here in the bat room just to jump up off of him and get to the ledge. Makes it a little bit easier and a lot less trolly to deal with those bats. Roly-poly room's pretty simple. Just mow them down, slide right through. Gumball room here, we just want to get on our Jet and mash the heck out of the first one. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to Toad, because the boss fight, we want to enter the boss fight with Toad. The reason why we want to do that is as we are entering this gate, we're going to shoot a Toad shot off, and that will skip his life fill animation, and we'll, saving a lot of time. Then we're going to switch to Drill. We're going to hit him in the hitbox, and that will decrease his hitbox so much in a way that we can get behind him and never get hit ever again, switching to Ring and just blasting him down. One of the best things I've ever learned in this fight. Saved me so much time. Such a big time save right there. Love that. If I would have known that as a kid, oh my god, I would have been a lot less frustrated. Now moving on to the refights. Everybody's favorite part of the speedruns is refights. Cass does a really awesome speedrun skip, but it's pretty much inhuman to do. Which I would love it if we could do it, but it looks really cool, but no human alive could probably do it. It takes like 19 frame perfect movements or something like that, so make sure we're stocked up on Dust and Ring here, and we're gonna start off with Dust, man, because Mega Man 4's boss fights are unique where we can go from one to the next without menuing. It saves a lot of menus. We're going to start off with Pharaoh, which Dustman's... Pharaoh has a soft weakness, which is dust here. It does 2 HP of damage each hit. It's faster than charge, and it's faster than using a Bright, which Bright is his actual weakness. Not a lot of people know that either. We're just gonna hope that hopefully he just doesn't create too much of a pain by jumping around. Hopefully he just stands right there. A little bit of jumps, no big deal. But the main concern is you want to be as far left as over as possible. So when you kill him, you instantly teleport out of his stage and move on to the next, saving a bunch of time. You don't have to wait for the explosion to get off screen. You just get right in to the teleport and move on to the next boss, which is Skullman. His weakness, dust. Once we get rid of Skullman, we're going to switch over to Skull Weapon and Skull Barrier and go to Dive and then go to Bright, which we're going to use in Bright to offset his health values once again, using an odd number of Skull Shields. So you want to get them in 3 or 5. Usually we want to get 5 shots with the Skull Barrier on Bright, and then switch over to Toad, which is the Rain Flush is actually Brightman's real weakness. But we want to make sure he doesn't freeze us, so we got to get an odd number of Skull Barrier shots on him. Switch over to Toad. Rain Flush him down until he's gone, and then that will leave us with 1 Rain Flush left to use on Drill, because the rain will actually hit him while Drill is underground and doing 1 HP of damage, because like I said earlier, Drill likes to dive with 1 HP. That's going to save a lot of time. And we're just going to switch to Dive after that and just mow them down. And then the rest of the bosses, we don't have to worry about continuing per weapon. We could just switch. So you see how much time it saved us from having to menu each time going in, to each boss fight. It saves a lot of time by linking them together like that. Oh, 2 insta dives. Ouch, that sucks. Dive Man just being very cantankerous.
Cantankerous, that's it, yeah, cantankerous.
Moving on to Toadman, pretty straightforward fight. Toadman, he only jumps to your location, so every time you shoot him, he likes to jump to where you're at. And sometimes he'll stand there and do a little belly dance, but if you can get your shot off before he finishes his little belly dance to call down his rain, no big issue, you just move right on. Feral Man refight here is pretty standard, and the only difference is you can't charge your shot going into the fight, so you have to kind of play it by ear. Very well done. Little unorthodox, but well done.
That's alright.
It happens. Sometimes he likes to run through you. If you chain your slides together too quickly, he'll just keep running because it doesn't register that you stopped. So,
I know, yeah. You may think you're not chaining your slides, but then you're chaining your slides and he keeps moving.
Right. Dustman, there is 2 perfect Dustmans in this run. That's great. He likes to troll you in refights. So the first phase of Wily Machine here is weak to ring. What you want to do is you want to get him down to 1 HP. And at 1 HP, you want to switch to Drill and shoot him in the face with a Drill, and that will skip his life fill animation once again, and then we can use the Drill for his weakness. But the Drill itself is not the weakness. The explosion is the weakness. That's where the key is to detonating that Drill before it gets to the nose is vital, because that is his actual weakness. And look how fast it just melted him. Good job.
Thank you.
Moving on to the last stage of the run. By the way, the time ends on last hit on Wily. I know we mentioned that before, but just to keep you up to date, it's only going to take 2 double shots and 1 single shot on Wily here to finish him off. So Pharaoh is his weakness. Now he does have a secondary weakness, which is Ring, but it only does 1 HP of damage, and it can only be vulnerable in like 2 different places, I think. So the ideal is to use Pharaoh shot here to get him down, using the charge shot above your head and the extra in reserve to kind of get that double, the 2-for-1 special, I like to call it.
Unless it goes to the bottom like that, then.
Yeah, if he goes to the bottom, then we have to use 1 shot. But he likes to. It's very RNG heavy fight. His spawn locations can be Very
coming up on
very
time.
Painful.
Time.
Coming up. Time. GG's. Nice. 40-38 is a really good run. Very well done. Awesome job, Mr. Chris.
Thank you.
GG's, my friend. GG's. Making it look easy. Mr. Consistent himself.
Another
Get them
40-30.
GGs in 10.
Because when I did this, I did this earlier in the week, or last week. What was it? I think Thursday or Friday. Yeah, I had back-to-back 40s. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Been consistently getting 40s.
Well, congratulations there. 40-38.74 is what I got on here. You probably timed it more accurately on your end or something. I don't know.
That's right. It's still a 40. It's still a 40-38. I'm very, very excited with that. That was fun.
Very good. Very good. We didn't get any new donations in, but as just a quick reminder to everybody, if you would like to donate, the Tiltify link, I have been posting it periodically in the chat. Click on the Everyone Can logo down in the panels below. That will also take you to the Tiltify page. All donations through there go directly to the charity as well, to Everyone Can. They're a fantastic charity based in Manchester in the north of England, and they help disabled kids get into gaming using custom gaming peripherals, and they also have a gaming centre there where kids can go and play games with each other. We are less than £20 away from £600. We've still yet to reach it, so let's reach £600 in total, guys. It'll be absolutely fantastic if we can, because Everyone Can really do a lot of stuff, and every little helps for what they do. So yeah. Is there any last words you'd like to say?
No, I just want to thank you and thank everybody that has donated so far. And yeah, let's get to that. Let's get that £600. And just this was a lot of fun. I'm so glad Vet was here to do commentary with me, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to play this game and be able to do this, and especially for great causes like this. It makes it all that much better. So I just can't thank you guys enough, and thank everybody for allowing me to do this.
You are most welcome. Thank you very much for the run. Congratulations on the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for submitting and for taking part today. Thank you to your co-commentary as well for joining us. And
pleasure.
we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Absolutely. I'd love to do it again.
Absolutely. See you soon.